Father Vogel. I'm headed off on another cemetery adventure. It's been a couple months since I've had a chance to go and do cemeteries. My last cemetery adventure was on the last day of November, and now we're on it's March 3rd today. So I'm actually going a little bit further than I normally would, down to Nemaha County. If you watched my previous video, I had mentioned that I'm taking photographs of all the gravestones in the cemeteries that I visit, and they get uploaded to billiongraves.com so that others can transcribe the information, and then the information can be found when people are doing genealogical searches. So I invite you to join me again, and we'll see what occurs. Well, I've finally made it to Nemaha County and to the very first cemetery that we have of the trip. Hopefully I have enough time to do it here before the sun goes down. I've made it to where I'm staying tonight in an Airbnb basement apartment in a wonderful lady's home. I'd show you more, but I'm not sure how much she'd want to have in a video. So instead, I'm going to say goodnight until tomorrow morning, when we'll begin with many cemeteries. Good morning. It's a wonderful new day. It's a bit chilly this morning. It should warm up throughout the course of the day. And this is the Kite Cemetery. Oh, I'm going to have to dig this one out. This one's going to be a little bit dangerous. We've got a thorn bush all the way around this stone here. Get in here underneath all of this. Dig it out from one of these corn cobs. There we go. No thorns in the face. This is the cemetery that is associated with the Catholic Church in Auburn, Nebraska. Auburn is where I spent the night last night. For the sake of his sorrowful passion, have mercy on us and on the whole world. For the sake of his sorrowful passion, have mercy on us and on the whole world. This is the Howell Cemetery. It is right next to the highway, so we got highway noises. And looks like the fence got knocked down, maybe in wind or something. Looks like it's named after the family that's buried here. I've made it to Pleasant View Cemetery, so come on, let's go take some pictures of the stones. The season of Lent started earlier this week with Ash Wednesday. The three practices that we should do during the season of Lent: prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. And the works of mercy our almsgiving. So one of the corporal works of mercy is to help to bury the dead. One of the spiritual works of mercy is also to pray for both the living and the dead. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. A lot of the older stones are written in German. Some of the older stones, a good number of them, are written in German, kind of like a script, which I think will probably be a pretty big challenge for a lot of the transcribers. It's about time for lunch. It's Friday during Lent, so I can't have any meat today, but I do have tuna for a sandwich. Trinity Lutheran Cemetery is where I'm at now. I'm finding that there's a lot of Lutheran cemeteries down here in southwestern Nemaha County. No worries though, I am very ecumenical when it comes to visiting cemeteries. Doesn't matter what denomination I visit and pray for everyone. Well, I've arrived at Martin Luther Lutheran Church, and when I first arrived I wasn't sure whether or not I'd be able to do this cemetery. Here's the church kind of in the background here. Nice church, but there's tons of cars. I'll kind of turn and show you. Lots of cars here. And what I realize is that it isn't anything going on in the church. But if you look over here, there is a farm auction that seems to be happening right next door. And so, it should be good to visit the cemetery. St. Frederick Cemetery. A first for me in this cemetery. You'll notice there is a couple over there behind me, but they're actually also doing genealogy stuff for the Find a Grave website. They started doing this during the time of the pandemic because they needed to get outside and away from people and get some sun, and the Billion Graves website focuses on the photos of the stones, where theirs is more the family information. So kind of neat to meet and talk with them for a little while about the similar kind of passion. Found an interesting stone, Wilbert Kors, but it says killed in action, buried in Belgium. And he has the eagle there, 1941, 1945. That's for World War II. So I'm guessing that could have been part of the Battle of the Bulge. Towards the end of World War II was this important offensive that of the Germans that the Allied forces were able to push them back. It seems that he offered his life in order to bring about greater freedom. It is good to ponder what those who have gone before us have done when we visit the cemeteries. Probably my last cemetery of the day. Don't even know if I'm going to finish this because I don't have much time left. But this is a very unique one. This is St. John's Lutheran Church Complex. There's two churches here, and the of historical importance is the stone church right behind me. This church was built in 1867 to 1868. What makes this so unique is that you don't see a lot of stone churches here in Nebraska. We just don't have a lot of stone. This is the oldest known gravestone in the St. John's Stone Church Cemetery. Gretty Coleman, the wife of Thomas J. Caspers, the oldest grave, 1857. Good morning. It is a new day and I am out at the Highland Baptist Cemetery. It's up on a hill, so the wind is really pushing through right now. As you can see, this is a small country cemetery, not very well kept up. Lots of stones that are going to be hidden within the grass. It rained some last night. We may or may not get some rain later today. We'll see. It'll be an adventure. I'm thankful that this downed tree seems to have just missed all of the gravestones. I'm just down the road now from the previous cemetery. You can kind of see off in the distance over there. Another small cemetery. This one, the stones are in a little worse shape than the ones over there. There's a lot of lichens on the stones, but this seems to be more well mowed for that. So it's sprinkling now, so I don't want to leave my camera out in the rain too long. We'll go and do the cemetery. Well, it looks like we're getting some rain. As you can see on the radar, it kind of moved in not too long ago, and now where I am, it's pretty significant. Judging from the radar, it doesn't seem like it's going to completely go away, and I'd probably be in the middle of doing a cemetery when it comes down some more. So I think I'm going to slowly make my way out of Nemaha County, back north and west. I don't know the exact route I'm going to take, but we'll see if I can maybe pick up a cemetery or two on the way back. All right, so I have made it to a cemetery. No longer Nemaha County anymore. But as you can see, it's raining a lot less here. Don't know anything about this cemetery since I had not intended to be here. All right, let's see. Starting to rain. Let's hurry up and finish this one. Yeah, it's raining. I'm recording this in my car right outside of St. Leo Catholic Church Cemetery near Palmyra. It turns out that just as the storm was finishing going through Nemaha County is the time that a different front of the storm was coming through this area. So I got dumped on while I was at that little cemetery. Another little complication too is that when I got all that rain and was leaving, some water got into the charging port on my phone, so it said I wasn't allowed to use it until it dries out, which said it could take hours. Turns out it seems to be working again now, that it's recharging and I can put the microphone into my phone. That's how I'm recording this audio, otherwise it wouldn't be as great. And I have to do it in my car instead of out in the cemetery because we're right next to the major highway. Well, I'm a little bit further north at the Todd Hill Cemetery. It is quite a bit colder than it was this morning. It's down into the mid-30s now. Kind of dreary and misty all around. I'm at St. Mary's and St. Patrick's Catholic Cemetery. I thought it was very interesting that there's two names to it, and discovered that St. Mary's is actually the church in the little town of Davie, not too far from here, and that St. Patrick was the church that was actually right here where the cemetery is, though that church has been torn down. All right, little cemetery out here, and a nice grove of trees. It's an interesting stone right here. The tree has grown around it. Oh, look. Bigfoot is visiting the cemetery too. I wonder if there's anything else in the woods looking out at me. Ah! Old Pleasant Hill Cemetery. Not that pleasant with all the wind. We were just at the old Pleasant Hill Cemetery. Now we're at the new Pleasant Hill Cemetery. Good thing I don't have to use the outhouse. I would be rather exposed. Well, I finished the last cemetery. Looking at the Billion Graves app, I can see all the different cemeteries that I have done. Is that I've taken 6,090 photos. If you count all these cemeteries, you'll see that I went to 25 cemeteries in the last 3 days. When I get back, I will begin to upload these photos to billiongraves.com. That way the transcribers can go through and transcribe the information, and not long after that, the records will be available online for people to find their ancestors. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me on this adventure. God bless.